Hey, hey. Rock and roll is here to stay. And so is the most excellent entertainment podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode where I am talking to Chris R. Notarile. He's one of the most creative people that I have ever had on this show. And it was a joy to sit down and talk to him. Really informative guy, really great opinions, really super intelligent, great filmmaker. Um, Go to the link below and check out his stuff. One thing that we did not talk about though is his comic books. The Blinky Universe has comic books, and he's got new ones coming out. So please also check out Chris's comics. Check out this interview. And speaking of checking things out, check out our merch, the most excellent entertainment merchandise. Uh, Check out the link in the description down there somewhere, and get yourself some MEE representation, man. We've got a cool logo, and it looks good on the clothes. So yeah, go and do that and enjoy this conversation with the extremely talented Chris R. Notarile. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the most excellent entertainment podcast. Um, and with me this week, oh well, I should probably tell you guys who I am just in case you're new. I'm Keith, and I'm the host. And with me this week is a filmmaker who's been doing this a long time independently, and probably one of the more well-known filmmakers not backed by a major studio, Mr. Chris Notarile. How's it going, Chris? Nice to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Keith. Pretty good. 21 years doing this.
Yeah,
Pretty ridiculous.
it is indeed. So you went and well, you know what? Since this is your very first time, let's just start at the beginning, but we'll try to keep it rolling. Um, what was it that got you interested in filmmaking?
Okay, so I'm probably gonna go with Halloween. I saw Halloween when I was 16, and I knew I always wanted to like tell stories, but I watched it and I was like, oh, I could do that because it took place in a town like mine and small cast, simple characters, and I just kind of got addicted to wanting to tell stories with film at that point. So from 16 on is when I really said, that's it, I want to be a filmmaker. Prior to that, I didn't know for sure, like artist. I knew I always want to be an artist, but I didn't know like animator, artist, storyteller. It was kind of all just a bit of a blur. And then I think Halloween kind of defined it for me, where I said, director. I want to
Yeah,
be a director. I want to make movies.
right, right. And so you mentioned the kind of the different directions that you could have gone. You have a degree in stop motion animation or something along those lines. Is that
Yeah, I went to the School of Visual Arts from 2001 to 2005, and I actually chose to be an animation student because I wanted to be a film student. I felt that I took a film class, like a college prep class, when I was 16 after watching Halloween and wanted to get into this. And I made like an 8 millimeter movie, which I actually just released, I think like last year or the
okay?
beginning of this year. And uh, I met a lot of film students, and I thought to myself, you guys suck. There are so many of you people that are full of yourselves and you have your head up your ass. And I may be full of myself, but I don't think my head's up my ass.
Sure.
So I said I want to learn how to become a filmmaker, but differently, because I felt if I was learning everything the same way as everyone else, I was never going to be different than everybody else, and I wouldn't stand out. So I said, okay, well, what can I do and everything? And I remembered Tim Burton got his start in animation too, and then started doing live action. So I said, that's the ticket. I'm gonna do live action. I'm gonna do animation to get into live action. And then I started out in 2D animation, and then I transferred over in my second year to stop motion animation, and that gave me a lot of really good skills. As a director, because I was doing puppet making, I was sculpting, I was working with latex, I was building sets and props and costumes and doing special effects and animating, and I do all that now as a director, except I'm working with people instead of puppets.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that because you've done no budget films, and you've also done, and wow, I don't know if Zoom picked that up, but someone just let a bomb off outside my house or something. Anyway, yeah. So you've done no budget. You've also done films with very small budgets, crowdfunding type of things. How important was it for you to get those skills to make your films look good? I mean, because
Very important,
definitely.
absolutely important. Being able to do the special effects that I do by myself enabled me to gain speed. Being a fast filmmaker is a skill that a lot of actors value. I don't know a single filmmaker, a single actor who's been like, wow, he works too fast. I want to stay here longer. You
Right.
know, everybody, when they get to set, they want to shoot, they want to go home, and then they
Yeah.
want their footage.
Yeah.
So being able to do an entire 10-minute movie in a day, 8 hours, being able to have that movie edited in 24 hours, being able to deliver that movie to your actors for their reels in that 24-hour period is invaluable. And I think it helps get people to care more about working with me because now they know he's not going to waste my time. If I
Right.
do Chris's movie, it's going to it'll look decent. It'll be well written enough that I can use this. It'll be diverse enough that I won't be doing the same thing over and over again. And I'll get it really fast. Everyone wants things fast now. So those types of skills I think are so important to have as an independent filmmaker. And being able to sculpt and paint and draw enabled me to, do makeups and special effects. I can do wounds on people. I can do prosthetics. Like I did the makeup for Freddy Krueger. I did anytime someone has like a bruise on their face, I can do that in a couple of minutes. Um, I make costumes where I know how to do iron-ons and stitch and sew and all this. It's insane the amount of stuff that you have to. And the thing is, knowing how to improvise when you don't have the actual thing you need.
Mhm.
Let's say, for example, I need red boots. Well, typically someone would be like, all right, well, I'm going to go order myself red boots for $150 off of Amazon or some website somewhere, and I'll get these custom boots. And I'm like, I only have $25. How can I do that? Well, I can get myself a can of spray paint that I know will go well on latex or a leather pleather. Mainly, I'm not gonna have leather boots. And then I get myself a cheap pair of boots and I spray paint those suckers myself. Like it's these types of skills where you know how to problem solve and troubleshoot because you can't afford something. They're very important to have.
Sure. Sure. And you call yourself a director, but I mean, you do the special effects. You contribute scripts to your films. Like you are much more than a director. And
I
honestly,
only give myself three credits now in all my films because I made this one joke. In
yeah.
2008, I made a or 2007, I did a short film called There's a Maniac in My House, and it was part of a competition, the last 5 minutes of a movie. And so I did like the last 5 minutes of There's a Maniac in My House, and it's the shitty 80s VHS film, and the whole joke is we're riffing on Halloween, and the killer's called Fuckface, and then there's the doctor with a gun who shoots him at the end, and he gets away, blah blah blah. But then you see the credits, and it's just my name for everything on purpose, like poorly written, terribly shot, shittily edited by Chris Miller, and that's the only time I ever credit myself for anything. But again, I'm making fun of myself in the process by saying how bad it is. So now I only do written, shot, and directed by and edited by. So four. I give myself 4 credits: written, shot, edited, and directed. And it's directed by itself, and then written, shot, and edited by are 1 credit afterwards.
Gotcha.
I don't do
Gotcha.
anything else because everything else at that point is just implied. Yes, I produced it. Yes, I did all this extra crap, but you don't need to fucking know. You don't care.
Right, right, right. And so I don't know if you happen to catch this on social media, but I tried to produce an independent film, and I have no skills other than I had this idea.
Hmm.
I tried to hire people to do it and ended up throwing my hands up and walking away. Honestly, it was
It's
not for me, man. So
it's tough. I'll
yeah,
tell you a funny story. I was working on a feature which unfortunately went belly up because my crew in Michigan just was not where they needed to be.
yeah.
Specifically, the person I put in charge was not where he needed to be.
Mm.
And I got COVID for the first and only time on that set. And
Oh,
so I got banned from my set for several days. And I asked one of the actors that I brought with me, who I trusted at the time, I said, "Hey, I need you to be me tonight
yeah,
for these scenes. These are important scenes. I'm giving you the shot list. I'm giving you storyboards. You know the script inside and out. You know me inside and out. You've worked with me already for a couple of years. Please convey what it is that I need to these people."
yeah,
And he says, "You got it." The next day, he had a mental fucking breakdown and screamed and yelled at me, saying how angry he was, how terrible it was, how everyone was treating him, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I asked you to be me for one night, and this is what happens to you.
yeah. And I can totally relate. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's a tough job, and you really have to have you know problem solving skills, troubleshooting skills, management skills, and patience. A lot of patience, and on top of it, you still have to know when to push and shove because someone is dragging ass. You have to know when to put your foot down and when to not put your foot down and just say, okay, fine.
yeah,
It's definitely you gotta be a Buddhist in order to pull it off.
yeah. I thought I've promoted pro wrestling shows for a couple decades, and I was like, well, this could probably translate. It really doesn't. It's a
No.
completely different animal, and I have a lot more respect now for people like you who can actually put a movie together. Man, it's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna.
Thank you. It's really tough, especially when the two factors are always, time and money.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
never on your side. You never have it, and you have to work with what you have. And there are times when you have people who just want to go home. They're tired. You have to figure out whether you want to call or not. Especially when someone's not doing a big part. I can
right.
understand you're the lead, or we've been friends for a while and you believe in me, but if you're just here for a bit part, you got a couple of lines and that's it, you're gone. You don't want to be there all day. You want to go home. There's no point in being there all day. So, as a director, as a filmmaker, you got to know when those people, when their time is up and get them going. Just get them in, get them out, and move on.
Yeah,
So, it's tough.
yeah, for sure. So you are primarily known for your fan films. Um, because I mean the Deadpool thing that you've done and the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but you've also done some original films. Which
Yeah.
which one do you prefer?
Um, well, I mean, obviously, I prefer the stuff I can profit from because it's my stuff.
Okay.
Um, it's
Like which one do you prefer?
the fan films in general. I do because that's how you know me. That's how a lot of people know me. So I always love and respect my fan films, and I'm never going to take them for granted because that's how I amassed my fan base. So I'm never going to spit and go fuck fan films. No, I love fan films. I love the stuff I interpret and adapt. In terms of my original content, I really love Haunted City. It's one of my favorite originals. I just finished the latest versions of Haunted City. Um, I say the stuff I'd made probably this past like year and a half, like the Batman, where he has baseball bats. True Crime, were those were really good. And then going back a little bit further, I did a short film called Sugar. I'm very fond of that. I turned that into a feature script. So I come up with these really cool ideas that, entertain me and excite me, and then I want to translate them into features and stuff like that. So yeah, I love all my original stuff and I love my fan stuff too.
Nice. Um, and a lot of your fan films are comic book based. Um,
Comic and horror, yeah.
yeah, comic and horror. Yeah. Um, do you so being a fan of comic books, did that help you see things cinematically? Because comic books are almost like storyboards.
They absolutely are. Growing up reading comics did help me understand because I got the How to Draw the Marvel Way book, like every artist gets when they're kids.
Yeah.
And that taught me a lot about like forced perspective and framing. So for example, this is my frame right here, this is my frame.
Mhm.
So imagine this is what you'd see on a movie. And I know that if I extend my hand like this, oh look, my hand's big and my other hand back here is really small. Now I'm
Right.
taking up all the frame. If I film myself over here, well, now I have all this extra space over here. And if I come closer and everything, I'm like this, I'm dead center. Like you learn these things over time from drawing and from reading comics, and it really does help in terms of, basic storytelling. I see a lot of people who don't understand frame composition, and for example, they're kind of shooting themselves like
Mm.
this when they're talking. And it's like, look at all this fucking space up here. Why is this space here? You know,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to like cut the top of the head off just a little bit. That way there's more of me in frame. When you're doing like a back and the forth and someone's talking, they could be here, they could be here like this. That way they're dominating the frame. If they're like this and everything, this is just, it's bad filmmaking. Nobody should be shot like this, I'll tell you that.
Right.
So
Right.
it just comes down to learning, and comics really, really helped. And also, I boned up on a lot of trivia reading comics, so I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to these things. So it's easier for me to tell those stories because I know the characters a little bit better than if I were just to pick up a book and start reading now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So a few years ago, and I actually ended up hooking you up with my friend Robin to talk about this on his podcast when it was going on. But
Mm-hmm.
you, there was a Predator movie that was released on Hulu that was very popular,
Yeah.
and it was basically stolen from you. I mean, I was just wondering if you could talk about that if you can. I mean, I don't even know if you can.
I am not going to lay blame anywhere.
Okay.
I am going to just say the sequence of events as they occurred.
All right.
In 2018, Daniel Trachtenberg announced he was doing a movie called Skulls about a
Okay.
Native American girl, and that was it. She was challenging the norms of her tribe.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. 2018, The Predator came out. It bombed.
Right.
2019, I wanted to do, and going further back, 2016, I had an idea. I said, oh, I really think like a Native American versus a Predator would be really cool. I should start casting for that. And I reached out to some people at the time, but never posted anything official, right? Now we're back in 2019. 2019, I say, I want to do that Predator idea again. I really think I could do that. I cast somebody. I announced this back in like September of 2019. I make the short film, and then I released it on Christmas of 2019. I put out Warrior Predator. November of 2020, Fox announces that Daniel Trachtenberg is going to be doing the next Predator movie about a Native American girl who's going to take on a predator. Now, my theory in that one is the Predator bombed, and they go, hey, that script you were working on? Yeah, can you put a Predator in it? Sure. Here,
Right.
done deal, right?
Right.
November of 2020, I email Fox and Daniel personally, and I go, hey, this is a link to my short film. You want to tell me what's up with that? I receive an email, I think like end of month, like 2 weeks later, from Fox. Dear Chris, we have reviewed your short film. We have watched it. We assure you it's nothing like the movie that we're working on. And I
Right.
go, well, that's great. I'm really looking forward to what you have coming. Good luck. Flash forward to what was it, 2022?
Hmm.
Prey releases. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So That's the sequence of events. That's the timeline. I had the idea as far back as 2016, 2015 even. And I know that the earliest versions of what he was working on, Skulls, was in 2018.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden those articles all disappeared. You can't find them anywhere. After like my IndieWire interview came out, articles about Skulls vanished overnight. You couldn't find them anywhere, and all they had was Prey. I had people telling me, "Oh, he's been working on this idea since like 2010 or something. You know, you're ripping him off and everything." I go, "You want to? All right, let's backtrack that for a second. Let's math that one out. A studio makes the Predator movie. They got Shane Black back to write the script. Okay. They banked on that one. They put all their money into that one. Why on earth would a studio put all of its money into a movie knowing it's going to fail only to say we'll revamp it right after? No, 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 no. What if Predator was a hit? We get a sequel to that one with that autistic kid and Keegan Michael Key and Olivia Munn and all those other people that presumably lived through it, right?
Right.
That's what we
Right.
would be on right now if it was a hit, but it wasn't a hit. So then they decided to go in a different direction, and that's when they went with Prey. So again, you want to tell me, oh, Prey was planned this whole time before 2018, and at no point did they think, what about the movie we just made? Why didn't they make Prey first then? Why did they make the Predator at all? Then when they could have just done Prey in the first place. So doesn't make sense. Somehow I got stuck in the middle of it, and that's that.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, if anyone wants to go and like check out the visuals, the posters, I mean,
Yeah.
it's too similar to be a coincidence.
I know
Like,
it's
yeah,
annoying.
yeah, and I feel like even if they were telling the truth in the beginning and it was nothing like what they were working on, once they saw your film, it became what they were working on. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I think that they incorporated your concepts at the very least.
I will say that the one thing I am happy about is their ending is not as good as my ending, and I'll stand on that one. I think the idea, I okay, every single movie since the first film, the Predator has always lost,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
human has always won.
yeah,
How are these the greatest hunters on Earth if the human always wins?
right.
At the very least, mine at the very end, the human shows mercy and the predator lives, and then you see an actual communication between these two characters. There has yet to be, with the exception of now, Killer of Killers, there has yet to been an actual communication between a predator and a human. Oh, not AVP. AVP was the only one where you actually have a predator trying to communicate with a human being. And that was fantastic. I loved AVP.
Yeah,
So in the last 20 years, that was it.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm glad that they didn't bother to go that route with Prey, and I still have my ending, which I think is a better ending. And I appreciated that I didn't have any dialogue in mine. I still think that
right.
makes it a little bit more universal.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Um, and I mean, I will say, like, uh, I'm a pretty big fan of Roswell, New Mexico, even though I felt like it could have used a better ending.
Hmm.
Um, and I was excited for the actress to be featured um, in a pretty big project. Amber, I can't.
Mid Thunder.
Thank you. I knew it was Thunder something. Yeah. So I mean, I was really, but then once I found out what was going on with you and everything, it actually kind of soured me on the thing,
It was
unfortunately.
definitely depressing. And the fact that it was a girl kind of threw me
Yeah.
because I was like, really? This
Yeah.
is the first time you decided to do a female
Yeah.
protagonist? Sans AVP. At least in AVP, she was like a special ops, like certified badass. She came with like a whole jacket of shit that she had done in the past and everything. So we knew going in. For Naru, like she's just a girl in the tribe. Like what were her skills that she had prior to this to show, oh, this is the badass one, you know?
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger, we knew what he was. We saw what he was. Predator
Yeah.
2, even fucking Danny Glover, they still showed that he was like a badass cop. And
Right.
then in Predators, all of them were, like even when we see Adrian Brody, he's military instantly. So like you
Yeah.
instantly can recognize certain people in these scenarios to know who they are and what they represent, what they're capable of. I didn't know
Right.
what her deal was. At least in mine, we kind of just drop into the story where she's already on the run. So we have no time for a plot, just run.
Right, right, right. Well, I think that there is sort of a white person view, perhaps, of Native Americans that they're all warriors. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just kind of how it.
No, I get it. I get it. I like the idea of a Native American fighting, but I feel that okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
If a predator singles you out, it's because you demonstrate the
Right.
skills of a warrior. So in this case, she'd have to be a warrior, and we do have to see those things going into it.
Right.
In mine, we didn't have time for it because we open up with her running and she's already been like attacked
Yeah.
and everything. So doesn't matter. No time for plot, just run. And
Yeah.
but for Prey, it's like you still have a whole prologue and an opening and everything, so it's a lot different.
Right.
I will say I really did enjoy Killer of Killers, though. I think that handled it really well, especially with the Viking woman. She was a fantastic character.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I haven't watched it, so I
It's
couldn't.
worth a watch. It totally is. It's anthology story. So you have three timelines. You have a like a Viking era woman who's just like decapitating people left and right with like bladed shields. You
Right.
have a Japanese ninja who is in feudal Japan who is slaughtering dudes and going and they're all going up against predators. And then you have a guy in World War II in this aerial battle. All really good. And then there's the third act where or I guess the fourth act technically when they all meet and everything. And it's a really good movie.
Cool. I'll check it out, man. Um, so recently, and I mean by recently, I mean in the last few days, you've been posting that you're going to be making a film based on the Black Terror. And
Yes.
so, as a fan of old school comics and pulp heroes and stuff like that, that's pretty exciting, man. Um, so yeah, because there anything you can tell other than that you're going to be making the film?
Yeah, so if you can kind of gauge from the imagery that I've posted so far, it will have that 1930s serial
Yeah.
vibe to it. Like it'll be shot and filmed and edited like that. But there's a twist, and I'm not going to go into what the twist is, but the majority of the movie will feel something straight out of a Republic era serial, complete with dialogue, black and white, film quality, music, and all that stuff. Um, and so yeah, I'm really excited to do that. I even want to do the classic bit where they shoot at him and then they throw the gun and he ducks.
Nice. Awesome, man. Very. And
Which is funny because this would actually be the second time I've done something like that. The first time was back in 2006. I did a short film called The Protector, in which you have the real life Protector, who's an old man now, watching a DVD about his exploits serialized. And it starts off them commentating, going, they're shooting at me, and then they throw the gun. Well, why would I do that? Why would I duck if I'm bulletproof?
oh man, that's funny. Well, instincts maybe reflexes. I don't know.
No, the joke was that the bullets weren't real, so he just hear the sound effects, and then when they throw the gun at George Reeves, he just duck because he want to get hit by a freaking rubber gun.
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes even more sense. Um,
yeah,
so you have over 400 credits at this point.
something like that. Yeah.
And I mean, man, it'd be nice if someone could sit down and watch all 400 things that you've done. But if someone's starting out and they want to see what you do, like what stuff would you recommend of yours that they watch? I mean,
So, on my YouTube channel, I'm assuming this will be where will this be playing on YouTube? Am I on YouTube right
uh,
now?
and Spotify, yeah, that's where we'll be at.
Okay. Well, there should presumably be a link below. And if you
Indeed.
click it, it's going to say Director's Choice, and that's my playlist of my personal favorites of the stuff I've done. So it's gonna have just about a bit of everything. It'll have emotional stuff, it'll have action stuff, it'll have hero stuff, horror stuff. Um, if you just want to watch straight up horror slasher stuff, go to the Blinky Horror playlist on my channel. If you want to watch my original content, like all my superhero stuff, my original superhero stuff, there is the BCU timeline that has all chronologically, like all of my superhero stuff and where it fits canonically. Um, I got my original short film and my original playlist, so all the originals are on there. I have the fan films playlist, which is every fan film I've made, and then various others like tear jerkers and urban action and unique horror concepts and stuff like that. So I have a bit of something for everything, and then I have a playlist for everyone basically.
Nice, awesome. So you mentioned the BCU. Um, you are more critical of the MCU than almost anyone I've ever encountered. Um, every time I watch something and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. That wasn't bad. I can almost guarantee I'll go online and come across a post where you are not happy with it. What do you think the MCU needs to do
It
to
needs an overhaul. First and
like
foremost, it needs an overhaul, and it needs to. Okay, everything up to Endgame was pretty solid.
right,
Even like movies like Captain Marvel that kind of were wishy-washy, or like Ant-Man 2. Ant-Man 1 was good, but like the ones that kind of were just like, whatever.
right,
Everything leading up to Endgame was really good because everything fit at the end of the day and worked.
hmm
After Endgame, they have been a mess.
right,
They had WandaVision. They had Falcon and Winter Soldier. Ms. Marvel was good, but even the ones that were good still had issues either in the third act or they couldn't stick the landing or something was just off or it felt like it was just you had to do homework. And if I didn't watch this, I'm going to not know this. And I constantly, my wife and I would watch it, be complaining, going, I didn't see that movie. What am I missing? And then I have to
sure,
sit there and explain it. And she goes, well, I don't fucking want to know that. And it's stupid. And that's the thing, people shouldn't have to do homework when they're watching stuff. So I feel that with the MCU, the big problem is that they're churning out more content instead of quality content. And then the whole canceling of Jonathan Majors, rightfully so, but
yeah,
you build up Kang and then Kang kind of ruins it. And then, yeah, it's just a disaster and a mess. And it's unfortunate. It really is.
yeah,
So I feel that with Marvel, they need to get a new and clear vision of what it is that they want to do and how they want to do it. I don't care who is in the film and how many characters are crammed into the film. I just want a good story,
right, right,
clear
sure,
concept beginning to end, and that's it. I want to see a vision, and I want presumably more comic accurate storylines. I can understand changing, the characters here and there, but like for example, I just watched Ironheart, and I'm getting sick and tired of super geniuses making dumb fucking decisions. Riri Williams pulled a Barry Allen, and the fact that I'm saying a Barry Allen shows you the problem. It's not just, oh, I have a problem. Barry Allen did the Barry Allen with Flashpoint. They did it on the show. They did it in the comic books. Characters who are super smart making stupid decisions needs to stop. I'm
yeah,
really annoyed by that because all it does is prove how selfish you are. Barry at least fixed the problem, but he still created the problem in the first place. And he should have known better not to. But because he succumbed to his baser instincts, to his emotions, he created Flashpoint and fucked everything up. And it wasn't necessary. It's good storytelling because it was a good story to have and everything. And there was an enjoyable ending to Flashpoint in the comics.
right,
Um, but they didn't do that with Ironheart. There was no enjoyable ending. There was just, are you kidding me?
yeah,
And she
yeah,
learned nothing. She learned nothing about this, despite the fact that everybody in her life was straight up telling her, hey, 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 magic bad. Don't do magic. Don't
yeah,
be magic. And she's just like, I'm gonna do magic. And then boom, bad shit happens at the end of Ironheart. And I'm very upset about that because again, it's not that I don't like the character. It's not that I
mhm,
have a problem with the fact that she's a girl. It's the fact that she's supposed to be a super genius and she's dumb.
right,
I don't
right.
like dumb geniuses.
I mean, that's fair, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. Um, I personally didn't like the ending. I agree. Like I was like, what? He brought her back? I couldn't wrap my head around it. You
It
know?
was the
Yeah,
dumbest decision ever. And even if they're hinting that somehow she knows what she's doing
right.
and that she's going to you know,
Outsmart the devil.
outsmart the devil, yeah, in the foreseeable future, that
Right.
is not how you end your first season.
Yeah.
Your first season where we don't even know anything about you. We don't know if you've made the right choice. We don't know if you're trustworthy. Your previous outing, you were a side character. Now this is your first outing as the protagonist, and you make the dumbest fucking decision possible without telling anybody, without cluing anyone into your plan,
Right.
assuming there is one. And also, the thing that gets me is she had the perfect setup. She had the perfect setup where she's sitting there, he's pulling all this, and they had that cut back and forth.
Right, right,
That could have
right.
easily been a fake out. She could have easily said, nah, got up and left. And you realize that's what he was showing her, but she's too smart for it. But no,
Yeah.
no, no. That was an actual thing happening. Why are you editing it like this?
Yep. I was 100%, and maybe we were supposed to think that, and then it's like, ah, gotcha. But I really didn't
It's the
want to.
worst got you.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. I was there. I was like, oh, so she's seeing like the possibilities, and he's trying to
Right.
tempt her, and in the end, she's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be tempted after all of this stupid shit that she's done because she's poor. And when you're
Yeah.
poor, sometimes your morals, because you're surviving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes your morals aren't fantastic. So yeah, she did
Right.
questionable things, but in the end, we see that she's able to resist.
Mm-hmm. Because she's learned and grown like a hero is supposed to.
Yeah, dude, that's totally the ending I was looking for. But
Just it would have been so much more powerful if she just said no, not
yeah,
interested, nah, got up and walked away. You just see him sitting there going, I'll get you next time. That would have
I,
been more powerful. And then she's just on the quest to either rebuild the AI or whatever. But now she has a new mission. And she walked out with her head held high instead of this bullshit.
and I don't know if they were trying to sell Mephisto, but it wasn't necessary. You
It
know,
was he didn't need to he first off, he's 5 years too late. He should have been in WandaVision.
should have been 100.
And if
percent
you wanted to, you should have put him in freaking Agatha all along. That's
Right.
where he belongs,
Yeah.
you know? Or at the very least, he should have just gone straight to Spider-Man 4
Right.
because you have that whole brand new day shit that you could what was it? One more day. He's in
Yeah.
brand new Spider-Man's movie is brand new, but the one where in the comics where he makes a deal with Mephisto
Oh, for
actually
sure.
and
And
wishes for Aunt May to be alive again. He could
yeah.
have done anything like that. That would have been fantastic and that would have been acceptable because all right, well at least they're tackling that storyline. But no, no, no. He's going with Ironheart.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Dude.
Why? Why? And why now? Where
Right.
was he for Tony? Where
Yeah.
when Tony was lamenting over, I don't know, half of existence.
Right.
That would have worked.
Right. And I was a huge West Coast Avengers fan growing up. So I was really hoping for, the kids being part of Master Pandemonium and
Mm-hmm.
Beasto being there to make the deal. Like I wanted all that. And I enjoyed WandaVision, but I still wanted like Tommy and I can't remember the other, but as Master Pandemonium's hands.
Billy and Tommy.
Waiting for that, man. And
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I feel yeah, I agree that WandaVision was the place for Mephisto, and the ending of Ironheart was bad, very bad. So,
Yeah, but according to Robert Downey Jr., if you don't like it, you're racist.
really, is that how that goes?
That's what he said, and it's just like, dude,
Oh, man.
don't.
Yeah,
I'm Captain America right now. Just don't,
yeah.
son, don't.
I feel like it's the opposite of racism to want the black female character to be intelligent enough to
To
deny.
live up to the moniker of a super genius,
Yeah,
of all the people too. Like I can understand like a lesser character maybe might make that decision. Like can't even think of one at this point. But
right.
because hell, even like Luke Cage or no, who would do it? No, not Daredevil. I take that back. Daredevil would not. He's too guilt ridden
Yeah,
to ever do that. Steve Rogers would have thought about it.
right.
He would have thought about it to go back in time to be with Peggy. He would have thought about it, but obviously he wouldn't because he's Steve, you know. But it's
Yeah,
annoying.
it's bad. One thing that I will say about Batman is I don't think he would ever uh, bring Thomas and Martha Wayne back.
No, Batman doesn't do deals.
Yeah, he doesn't do that.
I
So
prefer characters who do have iron will and can stick to their morals and their gumptions. I think that makes them stronger characters. Characters who are wishy-washy are susceptible to becoming villains. John Walker is that kind of character, He would make a deal to
yeah,
be a better Captain America or something because he is a weak-willed character. He's filled with insecurity,
yeah,
He's not Steve and he has to live in Steve's shadow. So he's that kind of guy. But you can't have like the icons or the ones who are like, this is your hero, deal with it, be
Yeah.
that kind of way. And they were doing that with Ironheart, saying, this is your hero. She's the next generation. Okay, well, she's the next generation. Be smarter, please. Make
Yeah.
wiser decisions. What would your mom say? What would Nat say? What would anybody say?
Right. Right. I mean, I don't know how
She's
they're
just
gonna,
selfish.
yeah. I don't know how they're gonna handle it, but I feel like we're looking at a situation like the Last of Us, where if Natalie finds out that she's back because of a deal with the devil, it's not gonna go well.
That's the thing too. Now there's that guilt of you made a deal with the devil to bring me back. Don't worry, I got this. No, you don't fucking got this. This is cosmic shit.
Right. It's
You
the
thought it was Dormammu this whole time.
right, man. So shifting gears a little bit. I really like the idea of public domain heroes. And it's been done where like people make super teams out of public domain heroes. Uh,
Hmm.
do you have any interest in more public domain stuff beyond Black Terror?
It's funny you mention that. You get the exclusive on this one. There will be one other cameo in my Black Terror short, and if you can guess what this is, then you're ahead of the curve.
All right, let me see what we got. I'm not sure, man.
Well, if you know your public domain heroes, then you know what this is. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right. I will think on it after we.
Yeah. Here's a first look though at this is for the
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah.
Cool, man.
So I got
I,
to put these on when I get the suit and everything. But yeah, that's the logo.
that's awesome. And the little. So is that spirit gum that holds the masks on? Like, how does that work?
Oh, so
I'm interested in that.
had it here. Hang on a second.
Okay, sure.
So I had it here somewhere. I gotta find it. Here we go. Edit all this out.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, of course. Tyler.
So
Yeah.
this is actually the domino mask for the Black Terror, but we got a little string I glued on here. So this is
Sure.
actually going to just go right on his face and it'll attach perfectly and there won't be a problem.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
got this back in like, oof, 2009, I think, 2008.
Okay.
I've just held on to it and I finally have use for it.
Yeah, right on, man. Like I said, I love those characters, like the Black Terror, all the 1940s pulp stuff. Like I loved the All Star Squadron when I was a kid, and just the updates and stuff. So it's really cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. Every single time it pops up, I share it. I'm like, you guys got to check this out. So, um, do you have your stuff on any streaming services, or is it like exclusively on your YouTube channel?
Everything except for my feature film Methodic is on my channel.
Okay.
Methodic is available on Amazon Prime. You can rent it. And
Sure.
then another feature film I did called it is now called Terminatrix. I
Okay.
didn't name it that, but that's on Tubi.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out too. Um, Tubi seems to be working with a lot of independent filmmakers,
I
which is
didn't work with Tubi. My movie was bought out from me, and then whoever got it put it on Tubi, so it's there now. But I don't have that contact. If I
okay.
did, I'd be on there a little bit more. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Frank. We both know Frank. Frank Galangi. He's
Mm.
got a bunch of stuff on Tubi lately, and it seems like it's getting him some attention. So
I'm happy for him. I really am. He still does music for me sometimes, and I'm really grateful for it.
awesome. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. He almost got a Super Bowl commercial this year. So
Oh,
yeah, it was like a Doritos zombie commercial. If you get
I
a chance,
keep telling him to come out to California, but he's like, "No, I want to stay out here." And I'm like,
he's in New
"What can
York.
I can't do anything with you out there."
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Um, So we talked a lot about what you've got coming up, but do you want to maybe kind of give? Oh well, no, actually, before that, I do want to talk about this because I think when you're creating a universe and you're like an independent filmmaker, it's important. Are there any cast members or crew members who you work with all the time who really see your vision and help you get things?
Absolutely. I don't have any crew. It's literally just me. But cast wise. You'll know him if you see him. Tom Poprovsky, I've worked with him since I met him in 2017. He was my Darth Vader. He was Thomas Wayne. He was um, Space Ghost. He was the Tick. He was the Shadow. He's done so many roles for me. It's ridiculous, big and small.
Wow.
Um, he was my Silver Surfer. He was my Galactus. Just a bunch of different things. My wife, Lindsay Bean, I work with her as well. We just finished her web series for Haunted City. And then, just people come and go, but I
Yeah.
try to work with people as often as I can. And when I establish a good relationship with them, I want them to come back. One guy I'm working with right now, Stuart Hamill.
Okay.
He was in the Batman short. He was in True Crime. He was in my Stalker short film, and then Austin Trace as well. I worked with Austin back when he was like 6 years old in Methodic.
Wow.
And then I reconnected with him last year, and he played the Batman, and now he's in a couple of my other things that I'm doing.
That's awesome. So I've been trying really hard because I mean, I have been friends with you on Facebook other than like a couple months when you unfriended me because of my voting. But then I immediately sent you a request back and you friended me again. So I was like, okay. I didn't vote Republican. I just also didn't vote Democrat. And and you said
I was just
wait,
very upset in general at that time.
dude,
Unfortunately, this last
I
election burnt me out.
yeah, no, I totally understand, dude. But I'm what I was saying was I'm glad that like after a little bit and I sent the friend request back, we reconnected was my thing. Was what I was trying to say because I generally don't vote for the major parties. Honestly, it's just
I know. I just wanted him to go away. That's all I wanted
I,
was just him to go away.
I understand, dude. Me too. Me too. Um, yeah, it's been tough, but I'm trying to remember like when I actually like became aware of you, and this
Probably, I want to say around like the early 2010s, late
yeah,
2000s,
it's
most
been
likely.
yeah.
Just
Um,
because I'm so my milestones, there's Nightmares and Halloween, which went on to YouTube in 2005, made it in 2004.
right.
Then my next milestone was probably the first Kruger short film I did in 2011. In that time, I had done like Methodic, and I had done like the Electra short film, and I did what else did I do? I did my Punisher series. I started Punisher in 2009. And then the Joker series, the Mr. J series, I started in 2009 also. And that got some views. And then Kruger in 2011.
Right.
And then after that, I want to say my next milestone would probably be in like after 2015. That's when I started doing more originals. I created the BCU around that point.
Yeah.
There was the Phantom Face series, there was Turned, and then back to fan films in like 2017. That's when I hit the ground hard in 2017, 18, 19. I was just kicking ass and taking names of shit.
Nice, nice. So in the Mr. J series, was there a Nightwing in that?
No,
Okay, man. See,
no,
because
no. It was I played the Joker. I did not direct it.
okay,
My ex at the time was directing it, and I took a co-director's credit on the fourth one because I directed scenes I wasn't in.
gotcha.
But she had directed the three primary episodes of it, and I just wanted to play the Joker for once. That was one of the very few times I starred in something.
Oh,
I don't think I ever starred in anything else other than like the Henchman short, which is all tripod interviews, and then the Freakazoid short. But again, all my scenes were tripoded.
I feel like I remember the Freakazoid short too, but
Oh, and I forgot about Deadpool. Deadpool was
right,
2012.
of course, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is what happened. Like there was some fan casting for people talking about Nightwing, and I went online trying to find people who could play Nightwing, and then
Hmm.
how that led me to your Mr. J stuff.
Hmm.
I
Sounds
think
about right.
that's what happened. I'm almost positive.
I definitely would never put myself in the running for Nightwing. That's just too much of a physical commitment for me.
Yeah,
I'm lazy.
absolutely.
But yeah, we didn't
But
have Nightwing. We just had we had Cat no, what do we have? In the J series it was Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, um the Penguin, the Riddler, and there's a Catwoman cameo at the end.
Okay.
between her and I think Poison Ivy. I'm pretty sure it was that.
Right on.
Um, and then I was going to have a Batman cameo in it, and I actually played Batman for it, but I cut that scene.
Okay. And the other thing is too, my son, but this would have been later, is really into, well, he was when he was little, was really into fan films.
Hmm.
And just he would watch tutorials all the time on how to make stuff out of
I
latex.
did do a lot of questions and answers. I did one in 2010 for sure. It was like a 40-minute video of me just like answering questions and telling people how to do stuff.
Right, right. So it could have been any of that stuff, but
Oh, and the question series. I forgot about the question series. That was 2007.
okay, right on. Yeah, either way, I mean, I've been following you for a pretty
A
good long
while.
time, man. Yeah, absolutely. And it's been cool. It's been a cool journey, and I'm glad that you came on here. So this has been fun too. But
I appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely, man. And I know, so like I was saying, we've touched on a lot of the stuff that you've got coming up, and we've also already talked about your YouTube channel. But if there's anything where you just kind of want to give an overview of stuff for people before we wrap things up.
Yeah. So, if you want to check me out, obviously, go to my YouTube channel. I'm Blinky 500 on all social media. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Blinky 500. Even what is it? Blue Sky, whatever
Oh yeah,
social. I don't know what
Blue
the
Sky
thing is.
doesn't give notifications.
What?
Blue Sky doesn't give notifications.
Huh.
I signed
Okay.
up for Blue Sky, and
Yeah, I think you follow me on that.
yeah, and
Uh,
I switch over, but I don't get any notifications, so I never know when anything's going on, and
I
that's kind
think I get notifications when someone likes something. That's about it.
yeah. I'll have to
It's pretty dead on there,
yeah,
unfortunately. It's just not as active as it should be. But yeah, I'm Blinky 500 on everything, and uh, I make comic books and I make movies. So if you like comic books and movies, you'll like my stuff.
right on, right on, man. All right, Chris, thank you so much for this. This was fun. The next time you've got something coming out, which I mean you constantly do, we'll talk again, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, man. And I want to thank everybody who watches every week. This has been a journey of a year, and I can't wait to get into the second one. I already gave him a holler because maybe he'll do some editing, or maybe we'll just keep it in as a joke. But Tyler Martin, my producer, my editor, my Guardo Camino, thank you so much, man, for everything you do, Tyler and Emmy Studios. And I'm Keith, always him, every week. And we'll be back next week with more Most Excellent Entertainment.